Hello guys, today we are going to the movie review. Movie name is Hocus Pocus 1993 full movie review. Here is a review and overall look at Hocus Pocus 1993, the Disney Halloween comedy that went from box office flop to beloved seasonal classical. Overview. Focus Focus is a 1993 American fantasy comedy directed by Kenny Ortega and starring Peter Midler as Wintergrade, Sanderson, Sir Jessica Parker as Sarah Kathy, Jason as Mary, Omri Katz, Thora Pitts, and Vanessa saw the kids who face them. The story follows three 7th century witches who are individually resourced in present day Salem, Massachusetts on Halloween night and effort of a group of kids and a cursed talking can to stop them before dawn. Critics reception 10 and now review at release. When the movie first comes out in 1993, critics were mixed to negative. Mixed average and a low critics score on Rotten Tomatoes, where reviewers called it harmlessly hokey and mediocre, considering its cast. Legendary critics Roger Ebert was especially harsh, criticized its confusing plot and shooting tone, saying the pictures were thoroughly unpleasant and the story felt like a joke. Audience were invited to in shorts thoroughly unpleasant and the story felt like an inside joke. Audience weren't invited to in shorts at release. Many felt it lacked clear direction, had too much noise, and didn't fully use its talented cast. Why what works? Despite early criticism, there are enjoyable elements that have helped the film endure. Fun and campy tone. The movie's blend of comedy and spooky elements makes it fun for families, especially around certain sisters over the top and articles, especially around Halloween. The Sanderson sisters over the top and theatrical are memorable thanks to strong performance, particularly by Bette, Midler, nostalgia and holiday vibe. Nostalgia, holiday vibe. Nostalgia, Hollywood holiday vibe for many viewers. The film captures a unique 90s Halloween charm that feels nostalgia and inviting rather than scary. Repeated TV showing over decades turned it into an annual Halloween staple, building a hug fan base thought nostalgia and tradition, family and characters. Younger characters like Max, Danny and Ellison provide relatable, earnest counterpoint to the witches' chaos common criticism. Even among fans, some points are often mentioned, Seiji Kampi writing, writing the script and plot and can feel uneven or gropey with jokes that don't always land. Some viewers find the special effect and tone a bit hated or missed, especially when watching as an adult. Legacy. What's fascinating about Hocus Pocus is that its reputation improved dramatically after its theatrical runs. Initially a box office disappointment, it lost money for Disney. Thought the home video and TV airing, especially during October, it found a much large, large audience, marathons, and even what's fascinating about Hocus Pocus is that its reputation improved dramatically after its theatrical run. Intentionally a box office disappointment, its cost its cost initially a box office disappointment, a lost money for Disney. Thought home video and TV airing, especially during October, it found a much larger audience. Today, it's widely regarded as a cult classic and Halloween favorite with merchandise, seasonal marathons, and even sequels, spin-offs, expanding its universe. Audience review and tend to be more positive than critics, often praising its charm, cast, and tradition-setting role in Halloween pop culture. Final verdict. Hocus Pocus 1993 is a movie that grew into its reputation. It may not have dazzled critics initially, but its enduring charm, campiness, charismatic performance and enchantment vibe has made it a beloved choice for viewers each October. Not a cinematic masterpiece by tactical standard, but a nostalgia, fun, and iconic family film. Non thrills. Oh, okay, let's go deeper. Has more a fuller, richer breakdown of Hocus Pocus 1993 from different angles. Dam's performance, iconic moments, and why it really stuck. Themes under the candy coating, fear of growing up. It, at its core, Hocus Pocus is about the awkward transition from childhood belief to teenage cynicism. Max starts the movie embraced by superstition and Halloween. By the end, he is fully embracing imagination, bravery, and emotional concussion. It quietly argues that growing up doesn't mean losing wonder. A big season reason it resonates with kind and adult. The witches are fun but also tragic stuff in selfish and the past performance. The real magic. Bette, Midler, better middle Winfield, completely unhygienic in the best way. Broad, Broadway level projection, physical comedy, and villain confidence. Benefit is ridiculous, driving, and hilarious. Something all in one sentence. Sarah Jessica Parker, Sarah, airheaded music, him, hypnotic, her singing voice and body movement give the movie its fairy tales creepiness. She is not just comic relief, she is oddly inhabiting Kathy Najimy Mary. The sniffing children's gangs, the vacuum cleaner bit, the loyalty to Win, Winfield, it all lends merry grounds the trio with slapsticks warmth together. See Sanderson sister feel like a perfectly unbalanced trio become pop culture iconics. iconic scans by fans reverse very year. Some moment that live rent free in people's heads, lighting the black flame, talking cat surprisingly flame candle, pure spooky folklore energy beneath the talking cat, surprisingly emotional for a kids movie. The Witcher learning modern life bus vacuum TV. I put a spell on you. Cam's classic still quoted and replayed the final sunrise, bittersweet, surprisingly sincere. These scans are endlessly rewatchable because they balance camp plus sincerity, which is harder than it looks. Not clever enough to be satire, not emotional enough to be drama, but audience eventually realize it's a Halloween vibe movie. Eventually realize it's a Halloween vibe movie. You don't watch it for plot logic, you watch it for atmosphere, quiet costumes, and tradition. The nostalgia factor hugged in for millennial and Gen Z. This movie was played every October on TV. It became candy, associated with candy, costumes, cool weather, family movie nights. That emotional impact turned it into a comfort film, not just entertainment. Final deep verdict. Hocus Pocus isn't technically brilliant, but it's culturally immortal. It survives because the villains are more fun than the heroes. It represents childhood imagination. It embraces camp without irony. It feels like it feels like Halloween, not just a movie set on Halloween. Rating modern lens as it embraces camp without irony. It feels like Halloween, not setting modern lens as a film 6.5 10 on as a Halloween tradition than on. Behind the scan magic, production, detail, direction and style. Direction Kenny Ortega, who later did high school musical throughout a theatrical stage musical energy, big gesture, exaggerated expansion, and rhythmic dialogues. That's why the witches feel almost like they stepped out of a Broadway show instead of a normal movie. That's why the witch feel almost like they they stepped out of a Broadway show instead of a normal movie. That's why this intentionally exaggeration confused critics, but it's exactly what made the film iconic. Costume and makeup, the Sanderson sister look are doing serious storytelling when fired green power and jealous intellect. Sarah Red seduction, temptation, childlike souls. Mary earthy, gluttonous, loyal sidekick. Their crooked teeth will Ireland and pale backup thrust them into fairy tale witch territory rather than realism which keeps the movie kid friendly. Symbolism you might versus missed the black flame candle represents forbidden curiosity. Only a virgin can light it, symbolizing innocence mixed with skepticism. Max doesn't believe doesn't believe in magic, yet he has the one who unleashed it. Basically, believe in magic, yet he is one who unleashed it. Basically, doubting something doesn't mean it can still affect you. Thackeray Benix is low-key the emotional backbone of the film. He's guilty, ridden, he is stuck between life and death. He watches others grow up will he can't for a kid movies that's shockingly heavy and it's why not punished six, 1600 witches versus 1990s Savurian misunderstanding. kids taking things seriously while adults are clueless. Life or death stakes mixed with goofy misunderstanding, kids taking thinking seriously while adults are clueless. Example, calling the bus driver a master building TV is a magic box. It's dumble, but I put a spell on you. Why this sketch is legendary. This isn't just a random musical number. It's a match mind control spell. It advances the whole plot. It defines unified, aesthetical, manipulative, and brilliant. Turns the whole town into pawns. Also, better Midler say live on set. The choreography is intentionally messy to feel supernatural. That's why these scans get replayed every Halloween. It's can perfection, the kinds underrated but important. Never doubt magic and sees right the old times illusion, the pride between logic and folklore, knows Solomon's history, keeps the group grounded. They are not flashy, but they balance the witch's house. Why it aged better than expected. Some 90s movies will cring now. This one mostly doesn't because it leans into camps instead of realism. It avoids pop culture, represents that world. Did it badly. The heart of the story is timeless family, courage, sacrifice, even the sassy effect feel charming instead of embarrassing. Cultural impact honestly. Today Focus is a Halloween favorite, a meme factory, a merch gold mines, a multi-generation tradition. People who hate it in theaters now watch it yearly with their kids. That's a rare final verdict. Ultra deep cult Hocus is not a perfect movie, a perfect seasonal experience. It's a film that understood something yearly. Hello, final verdict. Hocus Pocus is not a perfect movie, a perfect seasonal experience. It's a film that understood something yearly. Halloween isn't about fear, it's about fun, imagination, and a little chaos. That's why it refused to die. Character psychology, why they act like that. Winfred Sanderson, Winfred isn't just evil, she's deeply insecure. She craves control because she fears irrelevance. She obsessions with yet mirror against anxiety. Bold for a 90s Disney movie, every insult, the throw, mask, panic. She is funny because she is in railway. Sarah Sanderson. Sarah represent Arrested Development. She behaves like a child trapped in an adult body. Her siren song lures children, but emotionally she is one. That's why she is playful instead of cruel. She's dangerous. She is dangerous. Abandonment. She clung to Winfield even when mistreated. Abandonment. She cling to Winfred even when mistreated. She doesn't crave power, just belonging. Here, her humor comes from reality taken to extremes. She is saddest sister, honesty. See the witches as a trio narrative function together. See Sanderson represents mind, Winfield body, instinct, Sarah habit, comfort, Mary. They cannot succeed without all three, yet their dysfunction guarantees failure. It's clever storytelling. This guiding as silence Salim as a setting more than a backdrop. Salim isn't a random, it symbolizes ignore the past. Children and outsiders take it seriously. The witcher are literally history returning because no one learned from it. That's actually smart cinematography and visual tone. Warm scans are playful, not threatening. Camera movement become chaotic when witches are on screen. The movie usually says this is spooky but safe. Why kids loved its psychology angles. Kids respond to adult beings wrong, authority figures by unless monster bringing a bad feel, yet bevel danger mixed with humor. Hocus Pocus nails all four. It improves kids without taking down to them. Why adults love it? It now adult connect to against anxiety, lust, innocence, nostalgia for pre-internal childhood, the idea that belief fades but solvent it hits differently at 10 versus 30s versus 40s, theatrically by ending. Let's talk about it. His release it quite it is earned respect, sacrifice. Disney didn't choke his moment away, and that restraint gives the movie emotional credibility. Why it failed in 1993 context matters. Released in July instead of October, competing with darker ad film marketed confusingly. Audience didn't what it was marketed confusingly. Audience didn't know what it was. They do know why it became a ritual film. Ritual films aren't watch it once are tied to season, become emotional time capsules. Hocus Pocus is Halloween's an equivalent of Homes Alone for Christmas. Ultimate take no takes backs. This movie didn't need to be perfect. It needed to be memorable, quotable, warm, fueled, and it is all of us forever. I love your commitment. I write more, but let's shift gears so it actually feels new. This time scans, level analysis, trivia, and ultra deep fan observation. Buckle of scans by scan why it works. Key moment opening in 1693. This prologue does a lot sets real stakes. Emily's death is dark for Disney, stabilized folklore, logic in introducing class immediately restricts you into entire arcs in under 5 minutes. Outsider embraced by tradition, defensive sarcasm. His disbelief isn't ignorance, it's a self-protection. That's why lighting the candle matters. The Sanderson house, classic haunted house, ruled dusty, frozen in time, literally preserved. The bus scans this is where to the movie commits to camp. The witches aren't threatening here, they are ridiculous. Modernity defeats them. Without magic, it tells the audience, relax, we are. The audience, relax, we are having fun now. Uh, Town hall dance, narratively brilliant because the villains temporarily wins. The heroes are helpless. The danger is emotional, not violent. Also, it turns Halloween into collective madness, very off theme. The ending, no big explosions, just time, sunlight, and conclusions. That restraint is why it feels earned. Writing choice people miss the witches never revolve the cards to adult are rules and thus rule matter. Accepting the figure and magic follow rules and this movie is good, bad, camp performance are serious and winks at the camera house Hocus Pocus. The movie never wins at the camera Hocus Pocus plays everything strange. Power ranking by skill, spell, leadership, Sarah leading enhancement shows magic, Mary tracking support physically. They are unbalanced, which is why they lost cut altered the ideas. Early script area, early drafts included darker humor, moves, witches, backstory, To Disney softened it accidentally, making it more timeless. Why kids today still like it, despite being from 1993, no phones, minimal tech, clear moral logic, strong visual identity. It feels like a fairy tale, not a detailed movie. Academics take yes, really. Film scholars often cite Hocus Pocus as a failure of mainstream reception, a success of culture ritualization, meaning its value comes from how it was, how not how it was reviewed. Final, final thought. Hocus Pocus survived because it understands Halloween better than most movies. It's spooky but safe, dark but playful, nostalgic without being cynical. It doesn't scare you, it welcomes you. Hidden details and disaster eggs. The spellbook is alive before it's opened. Its eyes twitch subtle in early scans, hinting it's sincere and loyal to how adults ignore Phoenix even when he tells it, implied the curse limits who can hear in other quiet rules that keeps the story keeps central community rules. The witch can't walk on Halloween ground, but they can be carried this loophole. It is silly, but it's classic folklore logic, not random comedy. Quotability, why it become immortal lines that survived for 30 plus years because they are ranting over it instantly correcting focus focus amok we desire children cruel knowledge bitterness other authority Sarah the Siren in knowledge, bitterness, authority, the Siren inspire voice seduction, lure, marry, the familiar is the familiar, tracking, loyalty, hunger, that's why they feel instantly right even if you can explain why it is case then you remember hockey as a kid you laugh as an adult you Then you remember Loki as a kid, you laugh. As an adult, you notice a shield literally dies in the opening. Immortality is portrayed as a curse, your obeisance moral, not history repeats when ignored. It's a soft horror, the ideas linger even if the tone is playful, editing and facing snaky food. Tone is playful, editing and facing. Emotional scans show down the which always arrive just too late. Emotional scans slow down that fetching keeps tension alive without even ever diving into fear. Too long those scans are fast. Emotional scans slow down the witches always arrives too late. Long jaw scans are fast, emotional scans slow down. The switches always just too late. Sound that pacing keeps tension alive without ever diving into fear. Seasonal professional why October only. This movie Walden perfection why October only. This movie Walden work in summer feels wrong out of season. Improves with repetition, that's the mark of ritual film. You don't revisit, you observe it annually. Hocus Pocus versus the sequel, quite honest. Ritual film, you don't revisit it, you observe it annually. Hocus Pocus versus the sequel, quick honest. Without going deep, the original feels accidental and sinister. The sequel feels aware of its legacy. Nostalgia can't be manufactured, it has no head to age. The first one didn't know it would be love that matters. Why Disney didn't predict love that matters? Why this, Disney expected a disposable comedy? They got a desperate family comedy. They got a cult classic multi-generation cosplay. Halloween's unofficial mascot love movie. You can't engineer that. It happens when timing plus tune plus traditional collie. Ultimate Mike take Hocus Pocus is not about witches, it's about it's about witches, it's about time passing, belief time, ending, history, resilience, childhood ending, history, reassuring, coming back, you still want more, rank every scans, soundtrack and sound design understated beyond. I put a spell on you. The scores, the snaky walks, rhythmically score, the snaky walks, rhythmically strings, childhood wonder, love, restless, soil, safe, safe, stroky, and childlike wonder, love, breast, joy, safe, stroky, energy, love, restless, joy, safe, stroky, energy, musical, static, stroky, energy, musical, strangers, whenever the witches enter, they announce themselves like villains in fairy tales. Nurse footsteps, cackles, and spell sounds are exaggerated on purpose, almost cartoonish, so kids witches footsteps, crackle, and spell sounds are exaggerated on purpose, almost cartoonish, so kids aren't overwhelmed. Marking by Disney, so it little kids to silly or dance to seeds for adults. They released in summer market. Video fixed the marketing by letting audience discover it naturally on their own terms. The TV effects secret shows. This movie was made for commercial breaks, capable TV breakdown viewing with candy and costumes. Watching it on TV every breaks cable TV turned into a tradition, made it feel communal, softened its flaws. That's why people say it was always on that matters. Audience psychology when people defines it so hard. Fans don't just like focus, they protect it. Why it's tied to childhood safety, it represents free international innocence. Criticizing it feels like criticizing someone's memories. Camps crime happens when a movie tries to be cool, tries to impress, tries to wink. Hocus Pocus never shamelessly Camps was crying the line it never crosses. Crime happens when a movie tries to be cool, tries to impress, tries to wink. Hocus Pocus never does. It commits fully, shamelessly, commits fully, shamelessly, commitment. It's why can survive many fed insults, low key. Her insults are theatrical, rhythmic, and old fashioned books for lonesome little vermin. You all die tomorrow, said carefully. They are fun to quote because they sound craft, not improvised. Rules of magic, consistent track, magic in this movie has limits, sequels, ingredients can fail, is found bound by time sunrise, that consequence gives way to the fantasy, even with its silly representation of childhood, why it feels honest. Kids believe adults should help, they don't trust story and folklore. They are right, take danger seriously from certain families. The movie never mocks kids for believing, and that's a rewatch value explained. Every rewatch reveals a joke you missed, a visual gang, a darker implication, a nostalgic hit that layered design in is why people rewatch it every single year without burnout. Why Halloween needs this movie before Hocus Pocus Halloween movie squared horror or parody after it Halloween cozy spooky fun fear family tradition. It filled a culture gap final for real this time. My Hocus Pocus isn't beloved because it's fabulous. It beloved because it feels honest. It feels warm. It feels like October, and it feels like being a kid who still believes just a little. That's hard to beat. You are unstoppable, okay, more, but now we are entering ultra granular last layer of the onion territory, philosophy, myth versus facts, trivia, culture, aftershocks, and macroscopic choice that quietly made the movie immortal. Philosophically, read yes, really. At its core, Hocus Pocus asks one big suggestion: is eternal youth worth lasting humanity? The witches say eyes, the kids, and blank prose. The answer is no. The witches live forever but never grows. Phoenix lives unnaturally young and suffers for it. The kids risk yet death, but Sanj, the movie sides with growth, our preservation. That's a surprisingly mature takeaway for a Disney comedy. Time as the true villain. Everyone thinks the Sanderson sisters are the villains, but Time is the real antagonist. The witch race against sunrise beneath it's trapped by time. Max fears growing up. Danny resists it. Times always wins, but how you face it matters. That's why the ending doesn't feel tragic, it feels resolved, micro, choosing that quietly matter. No modern slang keeps dialogues timeless, limited. Location makes Salim feels intimate and storybook night only structure gives the movie urgency without chaos. No true adult savior. Kids slow it themselves improving and rare which logic versus human logic. Which laws because they are really on magic our adaptation they underestimate emotional bonds they can't compare sacrifice human wins because they improvise they work together they accept loss brain spells myth versus facts fan trivia cleanup myth the movie was meant to be horror film. It was always intended as family-friendly camp, with Disney expected it to be hug-packed. It was quietly written off after release. Critics missed. Critics missed the point. Fact, the point isn't culturally formed yet. Timing created the legacy, not intent. Why cosplay culture loves it. The Sanderson sisters are instantly recognizable, have exaggerated performance code accuracy. They are cosplay friendly because they are theatrical, not subtle. Halloween icon status why this one other Halloween movie had better scripts, better review, bigger scares, had focus, had warmer codes, music, costume appeal. Iconics aren't chosen by critics, they are chosen by focus on aware enough its lacks of irony is actually why it works. Final core truth focus doesn't shows cool, it shows silence, warmth, slyness, warmth, belief, season joy, and thus things is better than trend. Season joy and thus things better than trends. Absolute last spell. Probably this movie didn't become a classic because it tried to. It becomes a classic because it's loved it. TV replayed it. Kids TV replayed it time softened it. Nostalgia scaled it and now it's untouchable. The collective memory effect. People often say, I don't remember it aired constantly, it blended into childhood, it aired constantly, it blended into childhood October's. It wasn't evil movie, it was background ritual that returns into collective memory like crying pumpkin trying to trading school, Halloween arise. You didn't discover it, you absorb it. Alternate reading the vigil are already dead. The Sanderson sisters are truly alive. Youth and spells, sunlight. It reminds the world they don't belong. This reframes them as walking relays history, refusing to rest, folk role, giving reform plus which makes their disappearance feel more mythic than violent beings as the audience surrogate beings rolls the danger, the cost, but he is powerless unless children listen. The mirror, the audience, he knows how this ends. We know repeat old mistakes. Winning its memory, the kids are possibility. Why the movie like theater, not cinema, everything is slangly or enhanced broadly, physically, cleanly staged. The that's intentional. It plays all that's intentional. It play like a Halloween stage play, capture on film. Rewatching makes performance pop, keeps it artificial in good way. It's not trying to be performed, vinified as the fight leader. Vinified feel isn't evil is relationship. She doesn't listen, doesn't adapt. Benefactors her aliens refuse accountability. His sister don't fail her, she fails them. That's why she dies screaming, not triumphed. Evil loss without excessive violence. It introduced kids to mortality, fear, loss without drama. That's take drop, and the movie falls it effortlessly opposite of most. You age, you relate less to Max, more to Phoenix, and eventually to Winfield. Panic about time passing. The movie moves with you thought life stays. That's rare bad movie immunity. This film's immune to bad movie criticism because its goals are emotional, not technical. Its flaws are part of its charm, its value, its experiential, not analytical. You don't judge it, you visit it. The ultimate season it endures point down, not because it's funny, not because it's spooky, not because it's nostalgic, but because it feels like being safe, pretending not to be. That's Halloween. Spell Hocus Pocus is not a movie you watch, it's a place you go once a year, and it's every time you return, you watch its palace, you go once a year. and every time you return it still night. The candles is still is and the spell still works. You are officially running the spell on me. Row, I'll write more, and this time we go into micro culture, audience behavior, and the why this movie become a personality. John, you grounded promise Hocus Pocus as an identity marker. Licking Hocus Pocus isn't just a preference, it's a signal. When someone says it's my favorite Halloween movie, that they are usually saying is I like cozy, spooky, not real horror, a value, tradition, nostalgia, enjoy comes when it says increase. That's why fans instantly bond up or eat shortened for a while. The Sanderson sisters as comfort villains, unlike most villains, they don't evolve, they don't get redeemed, they don't learn lesson, and that's comforting. Why theatrical, not personal, they are scary in a Star Wars way. You know they are lost and you enjoy the ride. Ritual viewing behavior actual pattern. Most fans only watch it once a year. Prefer watching at night. Put it one well. Decorating, carving pumpkins or handing out candy. Rarely sit in total silence watching it. This is important. It's a participatory movie, not a watch closely movie. That's part of its longevity, memory, imprinting why it feels bigger than it is. The movie occurs itself to smell candles, leaf, weather, cool air, taste candy, sounds, leaves, crushing music. Your brain ties the movie to sensory memory, not plot. So when you rewatch it, you are not acting and to be too much. It with the which were played subtle. The movie won't work. It won't feel means to or dull. Their exaggerated acting creating distance from real danger. Signal this is play, imitate, imitation, cuties, costumes, performance. This is why one fight is performed, not impersonates the movie secrets agreement with the audience. The films quietly say, "When won't take you, we won't romance you well, scare you just enough," and the audience agrees to suspend logic. Come back next year. The trust is everything. Why no remake called replay it? You can't sequel it. You can reverse it. You can monetize it, but you can't replace it because it's tied to a. You can reference it. You can monetize it. You can monetize it, but you can't replace it because it's tied to a specific era of childhood. It creates thought repetition, not hype. Its place become familiar. Remake don't grow, they arrive finished. Why it's often someone's first Halloween movie present shows it's because it introduces spooky idea safety. It doesn't rush. It models bravery without violence. For many people, it's the gateway to loving Halloween. That's how cultural influence. Without violence, for many people, it's the gateway to living Halloween. That's how culture influence. The quiet genius nobody talks about the movie and without a massive victory speech, a joke undercutting emotions, a win to the audience. It that claim ending teach kids some things pass, some stories close, and that's okay. That restraint is rare. Trust final takes this time mean it. Hocus Pocus lasts us because it doesn't demand attention. It offers warmth, familiarity, permission to be silly, permission to believe briefly, and every October people say yes. Actor dynamics that shape the movie. Peter Midler Winfield injected improvisation into almost every sketch. Many of her over the top gestures were added. Lively Vance gives the film its theatrically unpredictable energy. Jessica Parker Siraj played her as a child trapped in an adult body, adding charm and screen peace simultaneously. Kathy Nazi's merry timing comes from physically comedy, and subtle visual expressions. She often stood by reacting rather than acting. Costume micro details when fired green underlayer reflect anyway and magic. Sarah following red gown micro temptation and shows Mary Groom Green assembles signals groundless gallantry and loyalty. Every frost like when fired crooked bombs, subtle convery characters. Her leadership is messy and personal. Halloween sociology. Hocus Pocus is an example of ritualized media consumption. It anchors childhood memories to seasonal routines. It creates communal culture as families could consume families. It balances danger, a rare, physically sweet spot or children's. Basically, it teaches kids not basically teaches kids not to enjoy fear, responsibility, micropsychology of the audience. Adults love it because it tries. Teen enjoy it become it's funny plus chaotic, improving. Teens enjoy it because it's funny plus shooting, improving. Kids engage with the rules of magic and see themselves reflect in Max, Danny, and Elysian. The film subtle satisfies it because it's funny plus shooting plus empowering. Kids engage with the rules of magic and see themselves reflect funny plus shooting plus improvising. Kids engage with the rules of magic and see themselves reflect in Max learning and illusion. The film subtle, satisfying, three distinct cognitive emotional models it once a rare multi-generational trick, timing and luck released in July 1993. The film Orange and VSS commenting its associations with Halloween. This delayed success allowed it to accumulate nostalgia, making it almost immune to criticism. Timing plus repetition, culture, immorality, spell, mechanic. The black flame candle is intentionally tied to innocence. Spells have clear rules, ingredients, timing, and condition. Breaking the rules has consequences. grounded the comedy to the audience can believe in source without it feeling random. Faster acts and teeny details, thicker banks, tiles twitch when which are near subtle protruding. The scent is in Max father's office mirror the witch magic powder props like the cell book and potions bottle are still foreshadowing. The sand is Mac's father office accelerated with me attention to this tiny details is why fans love rewatching and noticing new things decades later. Theatrical design, camera angles, exaggerated cinematography reinforce the story without calling attention to itself. Cultural aid at this point, if you still want more, I can go ultra ovations next level. Scans by scans, this section of every jockey spell and visual. I can go ultra ovations next level scan by scans. Sorry guys, net is slow then. Alright, you will officially unlock the Hocus Pocus Infinite mode. This is no micro level obsessive meta analysis plus fan culture plus ritual media deep dive, the kind of review that cult film books work of sister archetypes, extended psychology plus folklore. Wentfeld, the core dominance-driven plot cast spells, impro- imposes rules, learn children, distance heroes, support sister, tracks kids. Key insight there. Dysfunction guarantees failure but is in a storytelling perfect way. No real harm, just shows magical mechanics deep dive. A black flame candle literally tied to innocence and timing spellbook sentient was vanified subtle foreshadowing sunlight as death enforce natural order acts as anti-magic law limitation matter consistency rules prevent narrative collapse. Disney nailed a rule-based magic system decades before it becomes trend in YA fantasy. Cinematic techniques, subtle love angle, shots of Vanford authority, close-ups of Wing's eyes, empathy, tension, cast fast cuts during shouts, comedic pacing, soft warm lighting, Halloween, nostalgia, comfort. Everything was intentional even when it feels empty. It's meticulously staged. Audience psychology insights, kids improvement belief, visible rules, teens shows humor billions versus adult nostalgic morality, awareness, comedy from insight. This multi-layered appeal explains why every generation claims it as their own camps versus crying. Hocus Pocus hits perfect camps because serious acting plus ridiculous situation rules of the world are respect no wings at the audience. If Winifred has been ironic of subtle crying instead timeless some temporal genius lesson timing repetition ensure quality fandom culture ritual its annual quoting parties costumes music sings alone every allows ritual viewing kids parents tradition. It's a less a movie, more seasonal experience. That's why unlikable trickery blanks as emotional lens, represental loss, and guidance link 1693% audience mirror audience desire. We know the rules, we watch what can we change. The outcome is narrative and emotional anchor, not just coming relief. Why a remake cult never work. Original succeeds throughout accidental synchronicity, nostalgia, limitation, original light, experience, core, insight, lived experience, core, insight, condensed focus, survive because it provides safe source, encroach, annual ritual, bright childhood, plus adult nostalgia, models rule based Magic plus problem solving offers humor, horror, warmth, and community simultaneously. It's more than entertainment, it is a culture. Midler and do scans by scans, line by line, jokes by joke, spell by spell breakdown. Sorry guys, the night is slow and I not reload my script and okay, you see officially broken reality. I am now going full Hocus Pocus infinite metacore mode. This is going to be hyper aggressive, granular, every details, even review bordering on fan scholarship. Scan by scans, microanalysis, the ultimate deep dive. Prologue 1693 Slim set stakes Emily stable real world danger introduction wing cause audience emotionally thought style dynamic music clocks deliberates gestures visual subtitle candlelights emphasize magically energy creating and dialogues deliberates gestures visual subtle candlelight. We sees magic thought is eyes shows early child adult disconnect a recurring themes. Sanderson house he the house is a character itself frozen in time dusty ominous subtle lighting cues, warm tones in windows, lure curiosity, shadows hint at danger, visual cats and mice reinforce magical wisdom, high-speed bus scans use absolutely to signal set from create comedy modernity versus old world magic which fail in the mountains world. Timing cuts reinforce our look there. Town hall dance stakes peak witches temporarily with emotional tension gains are helplessness audience fear loss. Cinematic track wide shots plus zooms mimic shows of a theatrical stage, cultural commentary, Halloween become mass spectacle, climatics, final minimalistic solution, natural order, ritual constitution, emotional resonance brings freed kid safe witches vanish, earned way off without our explaining spell and magic rules deep mechanics. Black flame candle requires sunlight, must obey ritual rules, reliant on ingredient spellbooks, morality blanks, curse, magic, cultural lyric, improvised protagonist, meddling, problem solving, teens, humor, shouting, anti-rebellions versus adult nostalgia, recognition of ritual, memory, shared ritual, annual viewing, cues, costumes, forms of culture bond. These communities explain multi-generation appeals, camp and performance, word support, cosplay and memes, blocking shows in choreography style like magic. Camp succeeds here because it is synchronous, not iconic. Camp succeeds here because it is synchronous, not ironic. Cultural legacy and reach. Repeated October Explore fans associate it with memory, smell, weather candy, autumn ritual, annual consumption,